First, I want to go over the base course. Now, all three races are doing the base course. The sport and expert do extra, which I'll cover in a second. So the base course is a touch over 9 miles. I've measured it anywhere from like 9.2 to 9.4. It's somewhere in that range. We are going to start the race at the far end of the parking lot. So basically, when you're coming to the park, it's the first turn you go in. That's where you're going to be starting, and you're going to go up the park road. You have a half mile on pavement before you take a right on a trail that's normally reserved for foot and horse traffic. So you take a right off the pavement onto this trail here. There's a couple sections that are a little bit technical. Some of it's really fast and flowy. Other things are a little bit harder. There is one section right at this turn here that I actually just made a little improvement for, which should make it a little bit easier to make that right-hand turn. And then right before this creek here, there is a tree that fell down many, many years ago, and it gets kind of narrow, and there's an old cement bridge. We're going to have a course marshal there, and it's actually going to be taped off, but that is definitely going to be a single file section as you cross that bridge. As soon as you cross over that bridge, this little left-hand turn here is a nice little rooty uphill. And then it's kind of flowy until you get to the access road here. This is the Port Charlotte access road. You're on this all the way until just about almost mile 2. And then you enter the Black Trail. You had a right-hand turn here. There will be a course marshal here as well as this turn up here. After you make the turn onto the Black Trail, right after the mile 2 marker sign, there is a wood platform. It's not long. It's not really that narrow, but just be aware that that platform is there. Then you're on Black a little ways, and right around about 2.25, there's 3 bumps, if you are, or whoops. If you are really cooking on that section, make sure that you know that you're going to go down and then up again. So really control your speed and know that those jumps or those little whoops can really, really launch you if you're not expecting them. We're going to have a big hazard sign right before those little bumps. So just be aware of that. But if you're just kind of cruising over, they're not technical at all. You can go right over them. So you continue on Black all the way until about mile, let's see, about 3.5 or so. There's a bypass of a technical downhill section that we took out. All those where you have to go around something, they're clearly marked with arrows, and the section we don't want you to go down is taped off. So there's a little bypass there. That's actually a formal bypass that was built less than a year ago. Continue on Black all the way until the next bypass, which is around about mile 4, a little bit before mile 4. This one is something we added in just for the race itself. So normally you kind of go down here and loop around. Here it's just a short cut through. It's a very short section of not even really woods. It's kind of wide open. It's probably like 20 or 30 feet long. Again, this will be blocked off so you don't go straight, make a right, and then continue on the Black Trail. So the course continues on Black all the way until you reach the picnic tables. At the picnic tables, there's going to be an aid station, water, Gatorade, emergency communications. We'll also have some light snacks there. That's just about mile 5.7 or so. You go down, and then you go to the left, continue on the Blue Trail all the way around, loop all the way around this big peninsula. And then you could get down. You take the new Shockabilly and go down, and then you're gonna get right back to where you go across the bridge. This turns into green, and then you go back to the finish. Now, the way the finish is going to work for this race is you're going to come out at the exit, and on the map it actually says left. The way we're going to do this is you're going to pop out, go across the time mat, and we're going to have you take an immediate right, and then just kind of do a quick little loop around, going very, very slow, so we can control everybody's traffic before you go back into where we have our staging area. Now the sport course. So the sport course does that whole thing. So 9-ish plus miles. When you get back towards the parking lot, you're going to go across the timing area, and then you're going to do like a little U-turn. There's going to be an aid station here with water, Gatorade, some snacks, and you're going to loop back and then enter green. And then the course follows green to blue all the way back down to the picnic tables where there's another aid station. And then you're going to continue on blue and work your way all the way back around to the finish. And again, when you go to the finish, instead of taking a left like you did the first time, you take a right towards the actual finish. And that course, hair over 15 miles for the sport course. Now, the expert course, after you do the base course, which I talked about first, you're going to end up again, back at the parking lot, you do a little U-turn, head to the A station, and then you're going to go olive green, transition to blue, to the picnic tables. Now, instead of when you get to the picnic tables, the sport course basically continues straight and then continues on blue back to green. But the expert at this intersection, you're going to make a hard left-hand turn and go on to black. There is a very technical section, which honestly very few people can ride when you first get into black. It's up a hill. Please be cautious on that. A lot of people walk. And then you're on black all the way around. All the way around, all the way around, all the way around, basically doing what you did when you get sort of back at about mile 14, you're back on the black loop that you did at the first time. You follow that all the way around through the picnic tables, and then you continue on blue. Blue connects to the backside of green, and then you go up to the finish. And then when you get to the finish, again, it's sort of taking a left, like you did the first time. You're going to take a right, and then you finish, and that'll be that. So this course is measuring probably closer to 22-ish miles. I think originally I put it out as 21. We've measured it a couple of different times, and again, it's different every single time. You know, GPS technology is only so good, but it's probably 22-ish. It's awesome. All three courses are fantastic. We can't wait to see everybody at Cranky Monkey.